Ghostian3 here. Welcome to my channel. Wanted to talk to you guys about the Boy Scout Handbook. I used to be a Boy Scout, believe it or not, for about 8-9 years, something like that, a long time ago. This is the 1990 edition. I can't tell you what the updated ones look like right now, but I bought this very long time ago, but I just looked in it for you guys. It's 1990. What I wanted to share with you guys is I always read on forums sometimes, and my friends are always asking me, or people that want to know about survival that I teach and everything else, and weapons and everything else, that what's a good survival handbook or manual. And I've read and seen other videos on other survival books. I haven't read all of them, some here and there. And for the most part, most everything contains a lot of the same stuff, first aid, that kind of repetitious stuff. And it's good, don't get me wrong. So, to each his own, everybody has their book. But you know what I was thinking? Obviously I haven't been in the Scouts in a million years. But I learned a lot in there, and through my family as well. But I recommend this as a survival book. If you guys want to throw this in your go bag, in your car, or home, show it to your kids, even for yourself, to stay on top of things. The Boy Scout Handbook is filled with everything for first aid. We're going to go through some of this stuff. Map, look at this. You got your map symbol so you can remember, or you're looking at a map. Maybe your map is not telling you everything. This gives you all that information on there. I mean, this thing is so awesome. It's got map finding, the map finding skills. It's got compass. Look at this. Somebody copies this on their hand with a marker, which is what you see on your map. And then that way, you put your map away and you can remember the designated areas, rivers, lakes, or mountainous areas, which way you're going. That's pretty smart. So these contour lines that they put on there, that's really smart. And of course, map and compass. You're going to have your first aid, what kind of tools. Look at this, how to tell north and south, your directions, and different methods. What backpacking, camping gear you should have. I'm sure this thing's a little outdated, but for the most part, it has its basics. And that's basically what you need, your basics. And nowadays they have all kinds of technology. And look at this, I'm mountain biking, riding a bike, your hand signals, left, right, slow down or stop. Some of you might have forgot those. I mountain bike to this day, so I know. Low impact riding, putting gear on your bike. This thing is just an awesome encyclopedia type of information. Look, swimming has a section on swimming and how to do it, what kind of swimming. Canoeing, rowing. Look at this. I mean, just amazing. And I've had this for a while, and I bought it for kind of like my survival book. Shows you animals, who's in the food chain, and that kind of thing. And even their prints in here I've seen, so you can kind of see. Let's see what else. The wilderness areas. Look at this. Animal prints. That's awesome. I mean, instead of buying 20 different things in different books, this pretty much has it all, in there. It shows you pictures of animals and their names and what they look like. That kind of thing is just, it's great to have in one big book. And it's not that big of a book. Fish, you got your butterflies, you got your bugs. Oh, I gotta show you the bugs. Gotta give them a little credit. Your bugs there. Now, trees, plants, what they are, pine, east pine, white spruce, western hemlock. This is just filled with all kinds of great information. Leaves, your tree fruits, use of plants, flowers. Wow. Now, even weather, how to tell clouds. It's got a scale here. So this thing is hitting all kinds. Look at this. How to find the North Star. Weather instruments. How to create them. Stars and constellations. Which I remember being taught that in the Scouts. So this day I remember some of it, not all. Pretty rusty. Look at that. I love looking in the sky, but I couldn't tell you all the constellations, but here it is. Nice parts in there about taking care of nature, of course, being respectful to the land, which I like, being Native American also, that's really cool. Exercise, being fit, what to do, here's your first aid section. It's teaching you pretty much everything. The basics are there. Look at this. Just awesome. And it goes from pretty hardcore first aid to the minor to the major. Look at scorpions, black widows. It's giving you information on them, what to do, how to take care of that stuff, what to do on anaphylactic shock. Look at how to put a sling on. This is pretty cool. The walk and assist right here, and the one-person carry. I forgot about some of this stuff actually. Forehand seat, two-man carry. I remember practicing that, so a lot of memories came back. And some of the stuff I'm still trained in that I do till this day. Look at this. How to help somebody that's falling through the ice. That's wow. That's pretty amazing. Floods. Look at this. Your hand signals. I think some of you guys that were scouts. Signals and distress codes. That's pretty cool. I remember doing some of this stuff. Look at that. I mean, this book is just filled. It's got Morse code in there. It's filled with so much information. And then a bit about the Constitution and the flags and our little history in America. So that's pretty cool and entertaining reading in case you're out there in the rain or something. Home emergency kits and where to find your gas in your house. That kind of stuff. I mean, this thing, like I said, it's filled with all kinds of great information. Like I said, some of it, even kayaking, rowboating. Of course, some of the stuff is like the merit badges and stuff for the scouts, so that might be interesting for some of you. For me, it brings back some memories, which is really cool. Look at this. I mean, let's go camping, it says. It even talks to a section about your knives, you know, taking a knife, food utensils. I mean, what kind of pack, what kind of gear you're going to have. You know, your most basics. And then, of course, it's going to vary between where you're going camping, backpacking, hiking. So we all know that varies here and there. And your personal stuff you like to take. Nowadays, cameras and everything, so it even covers a little of that. Look at water. And of course, like I said, it's specific to Boy Scouts, but the outdoor and everything it's teaching you, that works for all of us. Axes, saws, your knives, what they do, what they carry. So it's talking some specifics, but you know, that varies of course on what you're going to carry. Campfire stoves, camping stoves. Wow. Look at kindling right there. How to lay it so you can start your fires. Pine, fir, aspen, oak, maple, hickory. It's going to tell you about those. What works better as a lighting fuel source better than others. Fire starters. I mean, this is just awesome. It even gives you a couple recipe type ideas in there. There's your how to start a fire, different methods. Just awesome. Magnifying glass as well. A couple of ways to cook, you know, bacon and ham. I remember those good old days. Eggs. Look at that. So that is really just amazing. I remember cooking this in aluminum foil once the fire's down and it's red hot, and we'd put a potato mixed in there with other vegetables. I mean, just really delicious. How many of you have seen this? Cooking over coals, and you take a branch, almost looks like where it's made into almost like a tennis racket, like throwing a little steak on there, huh? So look at, I mean, it just covers so much. This video would be a couple hours long. Food storage, you know, for obviously bears and other critters. Ropes, knots, and splices. It teaches you. I remember doing all these for my merit badges and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, this is really cool. It's showing you all kinds of stuff. Shows you how to do a tent. Shows you how to do any kind of emergency survival type. Look at, there's map and compass. So this is what I want to share with you. Measuring heights. Look at that. That is really cool. Measuring time and how to do it with your watch. Really a great book. If you want to buy your kids a book, everybody that has kids, teenagers, buy one of these, even if they're not in the Scouts. I mean, it's pretty much a survival book. Look at this. I think they get a lot of joy out of it. They don't eventually. I think they'll treasure it, and it's a book to keep. For other books you may not read no more, it's definitely a book to keep. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. That I think this is a great book to keep for emergency survival. To learn, to keep up. You know, sometimes you get rusty in certain things. unless you're constantly doing them like I am, and even I get rusty in certain things. It's difficult to keep up with every single thing, especially if you're not in this scenario, so you have to kind of train like you're in that scenario. So the Boy Scout Handbook, I think it's a great survival type book. You just saw a lot of the subjects I covered, and there's even more in here. I mean, this thing is about 2 inches thick, maybe. Look at that. And I mean, this is a book that'll, it'll just be one book for so many. So many of you guys have asked me, hey, what about this book? I have one on knots, I have one on first aid, and then the books pretty much you start having a library. Now, you're not going to fit that in your pack or in your car, that kind of stuff. This Boy Scout Handbook, I'm not promoting for them. I love the Scouts. It's a great organization. I think it's good for all kids, and I loved my time in there. Learned a lot, did a lot, and but this thing, like I said, I started thinking, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Wow, survival books. Everybody has their favorites, and trust me, there's good ones out there. This covers pretty much everything. It's a good reading for teenagers, younger kids, adults. I mean, this pretty much covers everything in here that you're going to need to know to survive. So anyways, there's my my survival / Boy Scout handbook that covers everything from the outdoors to first aid to, the stars. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Ask any questions if this brings memories to you. Leave some comments. Scouts was, like I said, a great organization. And tell me what you guys think, because I think this is a great book for survival and all kinds of things to keep. If I was going to pick any book, this is the one I choose, obviously. I'm not putting down other books that are out there. There's some great updated information, stuff like that, but this covers pretty much everything. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Take care. Click on the like button, my friends. And come and join and subscribe to my channel. There'll be more cool videos coming. Take care and God bless.